Uh, Good afternoon, everybody. This is Andy Santor, Director of Instruction, Mill Creek Golf Course, Youngstown, Ohio. It is June 28th, 2012. I'm going to look at, I guess you can call me a front runner. I'm going to look at, analyze Webb Simpson's golf swing here. I think everybody remembers Webb Simpson. Everybody who watched the U.S. Open, he was able to navigate the very, very difficult Olympic club in about 5 under par through the weekend, which, you know, watching how everybody else was struggling there, which was beyond incredible. And, you know, given instruction, and for those of you that have viewed some analyzations on my various sites, thank you, number one. Number two, you know, we spend as instructors, we spend a large amount of time on what causes golfers to hit undesirable shots. We're going to look at some of the things here that actually will cause a golfer to hit good shots, as Webb Simpson did here recently. I know he played good again last weekend at the Travelers, and he played obviously incredibly, especially on the weekend at the U.S. Open. Okay, before I even get into Webb's golf swing, you see his setup. And to those of you that have come to me for instruction, you know, I talk about the importance of your pelvic function and pelvis, where the pelvis is situated in our address position. You know, you can see that Webb here, like I tell most of you, you know, this about here from straight down is Webb's sternum. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line right on his right pelvic bone here. Okay, and you can see, you know, I talk about getting that pelvis back or posterior of your chest or your sternum. You know, Webb Simpson does that at address, and you'll see he maintains that throughout his golf swing. Very, very critical in swinging a golf club on plane and getting it in position on your downswing to hit good shots. You know, the more instruction you give, you know, the more I find out that you'll see people do some different things in their backswing as far as positioning of the club. Okay, I'm drawing a line there on the back of Webb's pelvis. I'm going to draw a line up his shaft plane. Okay, I'm going to draw a line across his hips. Okay, and I'm going to draw a line on his spine there, indicating his posture of his upper body. Okay, and the significance of the line on his hips, everybody could see his hips are hinged. The back of his pelvis is higher than the front of his pelvis. You know, many of you, I've kind of actually got to your navel there and kind of pushed it skyward. That's what this is the position I'm trying to get here. And once again, I'm not going to get too much into physical stuff, but, you know, requires some strong abs, strong glutes. You know, undeveloped glute muscles are, you know, will cause pelvic dysfunction in the golf swing, will get the golf club out of position. But, you know, I can tell just by Webb's swing here, he spends a tremendous amount of time working on that. You can see, we'll go into his backswing here. We can see that club working right up the shaft plane. I'm not going to do it much better than that. We can see his right hip bone, or that right side of his pelvis. Everybody, that, you know, remember the pelvis is an ellipse. So that right hip bone has moved back a little bit on his backswing. As he continues up his backswing, we get to the top. Okay, we can see here, we're going to go back to just before he starts changing direction. Okay, everybody will, if you notice the bottom, oh, I don't know what color those pants look like. They're an orangish color, and a blue shirt. You will look. Let's focus on the orangish part of his golf swing here. We can see clearly that his pelvis is initiating that downswing. Okay, the pelvis is out ahead of the chest. His chest or his sternum is, you know, pointed kind of toward the camera still, and that pelvis has already gone well into its change of direction and already started getting in position where he's going to get into a tremendous position at impact. Okay, we'll continue into his downswing. Okay, we can see that pelvis. Okay, I'm going to point this position out right about here. Okay, Webb is in the middle of his downswing. We can see clearly that his pelvis has already gotten to where it has gotten, at impact. He has started to move up his off his right heel a little bit, so that lower body is clearly leading the way. Very important in the sequencing of the downswing. And we can see his sternum is still pointed, not quite toward the camera, but that club head, that lead arm, and that club head are well behind. So once again, the sequencing goes pelvis, thorax, lead arm, and the club. And Webb Simpson has done that extremely well. His pelvis is staying back, and he is now internally rotating on that left hip. Okay. All right, and we can see his upper body, he is rotated in posture. He's internally rotated around that left hip. That there has been no forward and backward motion in his body on the downswing. The forward and backward motion we normally see is that pelvis moves, that lower body moves closer to the ball. Our chest or our upper body moves away from the ball, and you can see Webb has not done that. Webb has maintained his posture, okay, as he continues to go into his downswing. Okay, that's pretty darn good there. So, I can tell Webb Simpson has focused on the right parts of his body. He's got some flexibility in his posterior chain, and he has strong glutes. His posterior chain being, his thoracic lumbar area, that pelvis area, those hamstrings, those calf muscles are all very flexible to be able to do all this. And you can tell he takes strong glutes to be able to do that, to maintain our posture that well and rotate as well as Webb does. Thanks for tuning in today. Remember, any of you that like to go to the gym and do some training, if you're a golfer, don't neglect the glute area. Glute strength is very important to the golf swing. If you work with a fitness person and you want to improve your golf swing, tell them you want to improve your pelvic mobility and your strength of your glutes. I think many people, myself included, we focus on our upper bodies sometimes a little too much. And that causes some muscle imbalances between our upper body and our lower body. And you can see here that lower body is very important in the golf swing. It has to initiate the downswing and kind of lead the way into our downswing into impact and past impact. So very important, and thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.